Hey, what's up guys, Bajheera here. I'm gonna be bringing you a 3v3 arena commentary video. We're gonna be playing as Warrior, Shadow Priest, Resto Shaman, and I'm playing with Hotted into Ovsy. This comp feels really strong to me, and I enjoy it a lot. Nothing overpowered, just it's got a really good balance of offensive and defensive pressure, as well as CC that, for the most part, aside from Fear, doesn't really DR with each other. So, really strong comp. When you play with good players, I think you'll have a lot of fun. This first match, we're gonna be up against Disc Priest, Ret Paladin, Warrior. So, a whole lot of bursts that could potentially come out of this team. And even though we can get the Ret to bubble and dispel it quickly, we're hitting the Warrior because if we force the Warrior defensive, then there's going to be a lot less pressure that we're going to have to worry about. And if the Ret feels like off-healing the Warrior instead of dealing damage, that's fine too. So we're going to stick on this Warrior. He's going to get in a bad position. I'm going to pop cooldowns and shockwave him and the Priest, and he just falls over dead. So keep in mind that the first couple matches that we're going to be fighting, this is like, you know, the first time we've ever played together as a team. So I'm pretty sure the MMR, it gives you like a little bit of a grace period where you fight teams below your MMR and see how it goes. So we're gonna fight a few lower teams, but I still want to share the footage with you because hey, this is the first arenas I've done on my Warrior in season 13 for the most part. So why not track the journey, track the progress? I imagine I'm gonna be a little rusty, but bear with me. So I'm gonna charge in to get a triple fear on this Holy Paladin, Destruction Warlock, Warrior team. The Warlock is going to be a huge source of damage if we allow him to cast, but the Warrior is going to be a lot easier for me to stick on, and I think he's going to take a lot more damage. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't really last all that long, because our pressure, even without cooldowns, as you can see, the Shadow Priest does so much damage, and we can control the Paladin quite easily if we just position ourselves well. So, another quick game, another fun game. Pretty soon here, we're going to start fighting some teams that are a little bit more appropriate for us to be fighting in terms of MMR at least. So. This is a Shadow play, very scary comp, I think it could be at least. Dot classes and Shadow Priest, you know, so much spread pressure. So we're gonna have to do our best to lock these guys down, really prevent them from using most of their cooldowns, and if we can do that, I think we'll be okay, as long as the game doesn't go on too terribly long. Our strategy here is pretty much is to hit the Shadow Priest until we look for a good swap to the Shaman. So I'm gonna get a stun on the Shadow Priest and the Shaman, and I'm gonna immediately switch to the Shaman. So I get disarmed, he jumps off, along with the Shadow Priest, so I've got cooldowns. I just want to hit something with my cooldown, so I'm going to hit the lock for a little bit. And once I get back in LOS with the Shaman, I'm going to charge down there and keep my damage up on him. Going to get him pretty low. I'm going to root the Shaman, which prevents the life grip from going off. And he's still really low. Drops a Spirit Link, which helps bring his health back up, and pops Ascendance. So we've got lots of cooldowns out of this Shaman right now. I'm going to charge his Hex cast, keep on hitting him for a little while, follow him up on the top of the bridge. He's gonna jump away, so now I'm sort of caught in a little bit of no man's land. I can't really hit anything at the moment. I'm slowed, so I'm gonna heroic leap to the Priest and try to get pressure back up on the Priest. The whole time, really looking for another chance to swap to the Shaman. It's great to get the spread pressure going. You're seeing that we're getting the Priest pretty low, and me as a Warrior, I mean, that's the kind of things to keep in mind. I mean, you want to keep your damage up, CC when you can. Keep in mind of things that you could reflect, like a Hex would be great to reflect. If the Warlock's casting Fear on you, you might want to reflect that. But all in all, you want to really keep your damage up and look for good times to swap. So we get the Priest really low here. The Shaman is within my LOS, so I'm going to focus charge him, pop some cooldowns, shockwave him. Now my Priest is going to get feared here, but I'm telling him over Skype, I'm like, dude, I can finish this, I can finish this. So we do end up getting the kill on him. Very nice little switch, very fun little game. So getting Shadow play. You really try to keep the pressure up. I mean, you do not want to fall behind. You do not really want to get defensive against these guys because that's where they start to shine. They spread their dot pressure all around, make your whole team rot, and you're going to be having a really bad time. But if you can do things to shorten the game, healer swaps, shorten the game. Sitting on a DPS is more of a defensive choice, which is great, but you do want to make sure that you find opportunities to switch that healer and make that team pay. Eventually we track down that rascally Warlock and kill him, so GG. Alright, next game. It's going to be up against that same team, it looks like, on a different map, however, so they're not going to be able to utilize the Z-axis to jump off and run away from us, so I'm going to piddle around a little bit, see if he tries to cast support. He is going to try to go for a gateway. I'm going to get in there, charge him, triple stun everybody, thunderclap, get my bleeds up, and start applying pressure to this Shadow Priest. Same thing as last time. I get faked on my pummel and go for the reflect on VT, and I actually end up getting soul swap as well, so that's pretty cool. Gonna keep my pressure up on the Shadow Priest. Joker Rage this Sphere. See if I can get over to the Shaman in time for a pummel. I cannot, but I think it's still a good time to switch. He does get hexed, so it's kind of a miscommunication on my part for switching to him while he's hexed, but I'm already here, man. Might as well go. I'm gonna try to jump back and charge him here, but I'm a noob, so I get blocked by the wall. Instead of shockwaving there and, you know, trying to pressure where the pressure is not there, I'm just gonna switch back to the Shadow Priest with my charge. Save my shockwave for the next swap. So, taking a pretty good amount of damage here. Nothing that my healer can't handle, so we're all good. Keep my pressure up on the Shadow Priest. I'm gonna pop cooldowns here because he is getting pretty low, and if the Shaman tries to heal him, I'm gonna focus charge him, and I'm gonna switch to him. He's trying to run around the corner, so he's running out of LOS of his team, so he can't heal them, and they can't really help him out that much, so I'm gonna keep my pressure up. My Shadow Priest is gonna kill their Shadow Priest, and that is split pressure at its finest. If you're playing a comp that can cleave this way in terms of getting one target low and swapping, please do so. It's such a good strategy, and it puts so much pressure on opposing healers. Alright guys, so this last game is probably the worst game that I played of the evening, but still ended up going okay because I kind of pulled myself together in the later part of the game. So, I get stunned, I'm not able to get this trap, but Hotted like a boss grounds it. This warrior is going to pop everything immediately, so I'm going to get CC'd a little bit on my cooldowns. I try to pop cooldowns to counter pressure, and I get knocked off and stuck down there for a little while, so that's kind of a bummer. But, still going to try to counter pressure, make him reconsider him popping all his cooldowns on our team, and he's going to try to kite away a little bit, which is fine. We are going to hit the warrior a lot in this comp because warriors, like we were talking about before, if they have to go defensive, they're not going to be able to deal as much damage, and if they don't go defensive, then they will get blown up. So I get scattered and almost trapped there. Hotted grounds the trap for me. I'm going to try to intervene away from this Ursul's Vortex. Don't quite get it, but I get cloned anyway, so this team is pouring a lot of CC into me early on, and that's alright, because as soon as I get free, things are going to get ugly for him, and I understand that. So I'm gonna try to keep an eye on Hotted. I'm really looking out for when he gets scattered because I do not want him to get trapped. I already missed a couple traps this match and made me pretty sad, but right now I'm gonna make a switch to the Hunter because Warrior's not taking as much damage, and I think we can really create a lot of pressure if we swap to the Hunter here, which is exactly what happens. I catch him in a stun, he drops down to about 25% health. Shadow Priest still deeps in on him. We force a deterrence. Great. All right. I'm gonna hit the warrior again, because once the deterrence comes out, that's great. Nothing we can do at this point. I'm gonna get knocked off, I'm gonna heroic leap and charge back into the fight, just in time to intervene Hotted and reflect this trap. That was a pretty cool little instance of warrior mobility at its finest, so I'm pretty proud of that. Since my priest caught this druid in a huge fear that put him all the way down the ramp, we're able to force a second deterrence out of the Hunter. Hunter's still low, warrior is actually kind of low as well, so the druid is going to pop tree form, try to pick his team back up, and I'm going to swap pressure over to the warrior once again. I want to, deal a little bit of spread pressure, but also help my priest out since he's getting peeled. Like, terrible reflect there, or a terrible reflect attempt on that druid, but I'm going to stun the Hunter, probably going to get cloned here. Now, out of this clone, I am going to be able to catch the druid in a fear, but my fear and his cyclone go off at the exact same time, so I'm still cloned, but the druid is feared along with the Hunter. So right now, it's the warrior that has control of their character on the team at the moment. So I'm gonna root him, switch to him, try to apply a little bit of pressure to him, keep the spread going. I like this. Hotted does get trapped because I wasn't paying enough attention, let him get trapped, that was my bad, but hopefully we can recover from this, hopefully we don't take too much damage. So I'm gonna try to get on the Hunter again. I do see this Ursul's Vortex being cast, try to put a reflect up, see if I can catch a clone, or the Ursul's Vortex pull the druid in. Didn't get either, but it's no problem because I can just shockwave the Hunter again, really limit the damage that they can do to our team. I'm gonna sit in this route for now. As soon as my priest comes in my LOS, I'm gonna safeguard him for the damage reduction and for my freedom. So I get to continue my pressure on this Hunter. We're gonna pop Stormlash Totem and deal tons and tons of damage to this Hunter. Even almost getting him into execute range would be awesome. But I do get trapped here. But it's okay that I didn't use my reflect there to mitigate the trap, because as you can see here, the druid is gonna try to come down here and Shadow Meld Cyclone me. I reflect that Cyclone with the Hunter low, so as soon as I get out of this route, I've got cooldowns for the Hunter. I'm gonna hit the warrior for a second, disarm his recklessness immediately, and switch right back to the Hunter. Pop the recklessness of my own, get knocked off, but Colossus smash him to death mid-air for the mid-air mambo kill. So that was a pretty cool game. I feel like I didn't play as well as I should have, but all in all, things worked out okay. Definitely a good practice match. That was an intense one, and I liked it. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. Plenty more 3v3 arena commentaries coming out from me in the future. Thanks, guys. Peace!